Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Zero Conditions Podcast.
Don't struggle to be like Excel. Just
Clap
do you.
now.
Please do
Are you
you.
hating? You two clap.
Whom you only
Even
clap?
if Pheelz is not clapping, it's just the star man
Just a
or star
superstar,
boy.
so Pheelz should not be
Clap.
clapping.
You two, you're forming superstar.
I'm just like,
You're in a
well,
salary job, or melody. Please, don't forget that. Guys, thank you very much for supporting us all this while. We
now
really
you know that
appreciate
Excel
you
is
guys.
not around for real. For real,
You
because
guys are
Kalani is saying
amazing.
bullshit. What
You are
is-
incredible. Welcome to the #1 podcast on the
God.
planet. Nah, bro.
Excel is not here. He's running late, and this is Tonani's
Fuck
attempt
yourself, man. Bro, let me tell you something.
Intro-
I don't do that shit.
at introducing the show. But yes, very importantly, we've got Pheelz in the building,
Bro, facts, man.
and he looks so fly.
All black.
I try.
Listen, I tried. This is not trying, but you look really good.
Oh, thank you. Now,
How have you been?
man, I'm good. I'm chilling. Just enjoying God's blessings. You understand?
What has God's greatest blessing been to you in the last 3 years
In the last 3 years,
Yes.
that people don't know about, that people cannot see?
just this journey, man. Like just this new waters that I'm swimming in. You understand? Yeah, just life in general and the ability to make music, bro. Like that's the one thing I'm always grateful for. Just the fact that I can make this amazing shit. Can I swear on this?
Yes, you can curse.
Okay.
Fuck.
But yeah, like that's the most amazing thing right now.
But like, I'm talking like tangibles though, or intangibles.
Okay.
Intangibles more.
Right?
Maybe things that you were not aware
Like
of.
specific things.
Yeah.
Oh, you want specifics?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it's just I feel like I'll always be grateful for Finesse. Like I feel like that's that one moment that I'll always be grateful for, because that was like a shift into like a new dimension, literally. But yeah, for sure.
Well, since Finesse, you've had a lot of other moments, and we've seen you go from possibly the #1 producer in the country to one of the biggest artists in the country, and it feels like it's also a time for producers to become stars. What do you think is affecting or triggering that moment at this point?
To be honest, I think producers have always been stars, and but I think it's just, in a way, technology has made creative expression easier. In a sense, you get like the world is smaller now.
Yeah,
you understand. I think that's really added to like the light that has been shone on like producers. So yeah, I think that's one of the major things for me, and it's just ginger, man. At some point, you just have to test new waters, and like
but it feels like you guys have always been artists. Like
yeah, like from like I don't even, people always tell me, I changed from being a producer to a singer, but I've always said this is who I've always been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've
that's
always been
an
behind the
artist.
microphone from time. My first placement ever was as an artist. There's a song called "I'm Going In" on Olamide's first album. Yeah. So like I've always been this person. This one is just amplification. You understand? Yeah.
Do you still enjoy talking about your producer side or exploring your producer side?
No, hell yeah. I still make beats every week, every now and then.
For people or
I'm
for
still in
yourself?
this both. I'm still deep in the studio, don't worry. My fault. I'm still
But
deep.
now though, do you like when you make certain bits that you exclusively give away to people? Are you thinking maybe I should keep this for myself? Or let that
I
go?
can't lie sometimes, so I can't lie. But I always put the music first. Like, and I tell myself the truth. Yeah, this beat is sweet, but it's not for me. Like, it's for this person. It's for that person. I think because I put the music first, and I think that's how I navigate all those emotions. You get, yeah.
And how do you decide which one is for you and which one is
I was
not
going
for
to say
you?
that.
I think it's a feeling, man. I don't really think it's 1 + 1. I think it's a feeling. It's an emotion. It's like you just feel it. You get, and it's a feeling that I've felt all through these years to like trust. You get, so yeah.
Do you make any beats and you think that's not good enough?
Yeah, for sure now. Steady.
Yeah, like I want to scrap this. I want to start from the scratch.
Yeah. And my guys know. Even songs, full songs, not even beats, full songs. Because I mean, like I said, I'm just wanting for that feeling.
Shout out to
Like
the
that
latecomers
ultimate
in the
feeling.
building. Sorry, Pheelz.
But yeah.
Shout out to the latecomers. Please continue.
Yeah, that's it, man. Like
How tables turn.
I'm just hunting that. What's good, man?
Except it's not a perpetual late comer. I love to say.
Pheelz, please continue, Jerry. Sorry.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just hunting for that feeling, and just that feeling of, yes, this is it. This is, and it's not even about people. It's about me. Like it's about how it made me feel. Because I can't predict how people will feel.
About your song?
Yeah, like
About
that's
your
not.
music.
That's really not in my control.
But do you worry about it?
No, I've learned not to. Earlier on in my career, I would worry about all those things, when I would produce beats and like think about,
What if they don't like
what
it?
if they don't like it? What is it? But I mean, I've had so much of that emotion that I'm just like, why am I wasting my time? I'm not in control of this. Let me just make music that I enjoy and, try to like shine my light, you get? Because last, nobody we get that, we just dey borrow amni. That's how I see it, you get? So
That's a good
why
mentality,
stress?
But you were talking about I'm going in, right? That was the first placement you got.
Mm-hmm.
Was that? How did you come? Who was the? I mean, you told me a story when I interviewed you in 2020 where you were like, your dad. You went to a church or something like that, and then your dad was not very supportive of you going to make music. But at the end of the day, someone went to convince him. I can't remember. I think
Yeah.
that those were the things.
It was. So my hunter was the plug to ID Cabasa.
What? Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
You told me that.
Yeah, you know my hunter.
Hey,
Yeah,
Kaite.
yeah. He is friends with my dad, and he would go to my dad for like mentorship and guidance and like
Pheelz, calm down. My
Yeah.
yonta is friends with your dad.
yeah.
Is your dad like a music person?
No, my dad is a pastor.
Yeah, his dad is a pastor.
Yeah, so it would come to the house and like chill with my dad, and like his mom is friends with my dad as well. I think that's how it's actually started. But he would come to the house, just kick it, chill, and based on my daddy, I would yarn with him. I'm like, I did make beats too, because at that time I was already producing for like church and like making music with my brothers and in school and even with my mom at some point. So I had all these like CDs that I already made. So I gave him one of my CDs with like a pack of I think 20 beats.
Okay.
And he just took it away, just based on how my daddy they do music. You understand? I think he heard it one time months later, and like maybe he felt it, maybe he dug it, and then he played it for ID Cabasa, and he told me. I'm like, nah, scary.
What type of music were you making at the time?
Anything, from hip hop to R&B. My R&Bs were sick, God.
I believe you.
To like Afrobeats, to like high life. Like I would just explore, man. I was making like electronic music, like
You're far from your mic, Tolan.
just exploring, because it wasn't about like releasing or anything. It was just about, I can do this. Let me do this let me stretch it as much as I can. So I would like just learn, grow, make like
And you started very early.
yeah.
Like
Yes,
you were like
you did.
16 when you were on like I'm going in or so or
Nah,
thereabouts.
I was 16 when I had Festival. I was 14, 15 when I was on I'm going.
You were still in
What?
secondary school.
Yeah.
So how did you
I
have?
was
Did you
14 actually when I was going.
what? Like, Mado.
Yeah.
How, so you spoke about like your dad being a pastor. So basically, you've had like that entire experience with church and everything. How deep are you in your religious bag now, like as Pheelz? Because we know that sometimes when people are trying to start out in life or just trying to figure themselves out, like, and you come from like a Christian home, it's always easier for you to like be in your religion bag. Then you get older and it's like, oh, you're no longer in that religion bag. Especially if you're like an artist or like you're in the creative space, there's a lot of skepticism when it comes to religion. So how deep are you in your religious bag right now?
Man, I wouldn't say I feel like I'm more in a spiritual bag now. Cause I don't wanna cause I feel like it's more personal than like for me, like connection with that source, connection with God is like, I'm trying to get on a more personal level, because I think that's what's most important. You understand? So like I'm more in that spiritual bag. And I mean nothing against religion, but I think, religion is a pathway to spirituality. Like I don't think religion is the ultimate steez. You understand?
What does spirituality mean to you though? Like what does it look like? Paint us a picture. as opposed
Spirituality
to
to me is remembrance, is remembering what you have forgotten when your soul came into this world. It's remembering that you are part of God. Is remembering that you are to God what a drop of water is to an ocean. It's remembering that we are all one. And it's remembering that we are all responsible for ourselves. And love is God.
Do you pray?
Yeah. And I meditate sometimes.
Meditation.
Yeah.
All those astral ones that are just sitting down and just
Isn't that?
astral projection and
And there.
No,
I'm not.
it's not, for me, it's not even about that. It's just about sitting still. Like, we move too much. Just,
Human
I feel it's really hard to just sit still. And it should not be that hard. But it's
It is very
impossible.
hard.
Like,
You think a lot of
something
us
has
suffer
to
from
move.
ADHD?
I know ADHD, sure, but I think everybody needs therapy.
I agree with you.
Especially Nigerians.
I agree with you.
We all need therapy.
Especially
what I
Nigerian
believe.
men.
Have you been to therapy?
I've never been. Oh. I swear.
So why is that people are always saying everybody needs therapy, but nobody's going to this therapy?
I mean,
The first step is he knows.
I know, yeah.
It's not even a youth. I'm just saying generally. People always say things like, "Oh, everybody needs therapy." So like, so have you been to therapy? They're like, "No."
Because therapy somehow became pop culture. That's the era we're in.
Yeah.
You know the therapy words. You know the therapy speak. You know traumatize. You know
Triggers.
triggers. You know all the words. Literally, people are using therapy words now as social media captions.
So
Yeah.
basically, people are more interested in talking about it than doing
In
the work of
sounding
going.
Yeah.
like
It's a lot to go and sit down in front of a stranger
I'll be-
and
I'll be
really
pouring out
open
your mind. I'll be
yourself.
crying.
That's
Like,
let
that's
us
my
not
own thing.
underestimate
Is
that
it?
what that is. It is a lot.
The only reason
It is a lot.
the only reason I went to therapy the first time
I
I went to
don't
therapy
think it
was
is.
because I was lashing out at people a lot. Like I'll be at work, right? And I had a lot of energy, like people know. Like, and I want to do something. You people are not on the same page as I am. What the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck up, nigga. Do you understand? So it's got to a point where HR had to call me and say, G, you need
Cholo.
to calm down.
Is it Sholowo or
Sorry.
Like HR had to call me and say, this
Calm
is not
down, bro.
normal for a lot of people. Do you want to try therapy?
huh?
Yeah. So I went the first time. It wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. Then I changed therapists. Then I went the second time. And the woman that they gave me the second time was fantastic. Was calmer, way more experienced, and gave me a lot of insights about like it's just talk.
It's just talk.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not. Don't be. I will be talking to you like you're just.
Is there?
And then it got to a point where the woman was like, "Do you even want alcohol? Is that going to make you calmer?" I said, "No." Okay, drink water. Let's talk. So I started going once in a month. I went for like close to 2 years. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very
Yeah,
long time.
I'm from 2020 to 2022
The same woman.
Yeah.
So why did you stop?
because it was time now.
So that was just really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would suggest that. Pheelz, I think you should go to therapy.
Man, I think I will, but I just don't think I'm ready yet.
The headspace.
Yeah.
What will
think-
make you think you're in the headspace?
When I'm ready to be that vulnerable with someone else. Yeah, because it's a lot.
Struggle with vulnerability.
Yeah. Not struggle, but there's a deep level of I feel like therapy needs a deeper level of vulnerability. Like it's literally no walls, not even a fence. You understand? Like, so when I get to that level, when I know, okay, I'm good for that, then I'll do that.
I know it's worse for like musicians.
I was about to
'cause,
say that.
Yeah.
art is supposed to be also
Expressive.
a form of expressing what you
Yeah.
feel, vulnerability. But
Yeah.
then maybe for different reasons, you may not be expressing again. Let's say
Baddo.
let's say you're chasing Baddo, or you've even become successful and there's a certain pattern or stuff like that
That's worked for you.
That's worked for you. You want to repeat it. You want to stay there. You might even make those songs, but they will never see the light of day. You know, they never come out. So,
but is this something
sad
you're
for them.
struggling with now? What you just said right now?
Nah, man. Like, well, my EP drops soon, so you'll see, I guess. But for me, I don't like boxes, and I've never liked boxes, even as a like producer. I always like exploring. I've always loved exploring every aspect of music and just expressing, and also I feel like my art is my therapy. Like my art has always been my therapy as a child, and I'm not just music. Like from all my paintings to like my
you
graphics,
paint.
and I make all my song covers and EP covers.
You have a
Wow.
you have a agency or
it's a collective. It's called RIcollective.
RIcollective.
Yeah.
They love.
So that means you're
It's giving out future.
Is a creative,
like
yeah.
full on creative, and
Yeah,
I think that's
And it's also a
amazing.
gig.
Yeah.
I think I'm a
He's a nerd.
I'm a rock star geek.
And I like when you do when you make like your own. I can tell sometimes when you are the one that made your own lyrics videos.
Oh yeah, the 3D
I can
videos.
tell, yeah, the
Very
3D
playful.
videos,
Very
yeah.
playful.
I can tell when, yeah.
So you put in so much time into like your art, even away from the music production, the artwork, the videos, the animation, the direction. Do you sometimes, so you take on all of that work by yourself? Do you have time for your personal self? Do you feel like away from, do you have time for yourself, like to sit with yourself and just know yourself away from the work? Because I feel like a lot of times we're so buried in work as young people that we don't have time to like be by ourselves and just like spend time with ourselves. And sometimes we're just doing all of that work because we don't want to spend time with ourselves.
I think I spend time with myself.
Away from work.
But sometimes I feel like my work is myself. I don't
That's not good though.
No, I don't see it as work. Like
Okay, fair.
But that's
there are
fair.
layers to it.
There are layers to it, but also
Yeah,
don't you feel like
Yeah.
that your work, do you sometimes feel like your work is just you? Like that's away
No,
from your
like,
work. Do you feel like your work is like your
it's-
identity?
see, for me it feels like release. Like it's not work, it's what saves me from work. Like it's how I process things. It's how I like when I'm like creating something or like I'm designing like a character or I'm releasing, like that's how I escape from work. That's not work. Do you understand what I'm like?
The process of creating is
Like
is
that
therapeutic.
process is like therapeutic for me. Like apart from that, like I would read as well and I would write and just express my like feelings with words. Like that's not work. I see that as like expression and like just it's therapy.
Yeah. But a lot of times, some people also say that for creative, for a lot of creatives, it's like that. Either you're a writer, you're a painter, but the counter argument to that from people is sometimes you don't learn to tell the difference.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, I see your point.
Like you can't tell. Like I think I read an article on the courts like 4 years ago about this, where it was a divorce story basically, and I think the person, it was a photographer, something like that, and the person had agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is you can't touch. They don't like people touching them, and it became a situation of they were working and they thought they were just living life, but to the person they were married to.
There was no life.
Yeah, basically, there was no life. They couldn't tell the difference, and every time the other person was pointing it out, they couldn't see the point that the person was making
Yeah, because they feel like it's not
because they
work
feel
for
like
them.
I'm just
living. I just
living.
live.
This thing they are talking about, I'm still living the life. What are you saying to me? So, at the end of the day, it's the person had to. I think after 5 years that the divorce, the person had to go and apologize to the ex. That they finally got to the person went to therapy and found that some of the things were coping mechanisms, and also discovered that they were escaping a lot through the work. It was an escape. Does that make sense? So I feel like sometimes drawing clear lines and knowing how to say, okay, I need to live life away from what I know to be living life. Could be something.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I live.
Oh, I know. Finesse.
I live life. If it's that one.
I really like that song with Young Jonn.
Yeah,
Jello.
Jello. It's going.
And I feel like because both of you are producers and you guys have been at it for a minute, like you guys have, been on the journey for like a minute together, that kind of made the song different.
Yeah, it's.
When was the first time you met Young Jonn?
That would be 20. I think it'll be 2012, 2013.
Via Olamide.
No, via Hit Factory Studios.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll be in the studio together. BT brought Young Jonn. And it was like, because I was at Hit Factory Studios already in Ajawa Estate.
Shout out to Hit Factory, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Hit Factory. So it was like, yo, just Young Jonn, he's a dope producer. I just found him, love. And then he started like coming to the studio, and then we would work and would vibe, and I would give him kits, and like we'll just create. Then one day I was about him like, you get one new kid, crazy. And Baddo knows BT as well, so BT was talking about Jonn as well. Then he was like, yeah, BT told me, yeah, pull up. So like Jiggy sent the beat, and the first beat Jiggy sent was the beat for Story for the Gods.
Oh wow.
And, yeah. And yeah, it was from there.
Oh my God.
So like Jiggy has been my G from like early, man. Like,
Is that
yeah,
why?
that's my broski.
I mean, this is something that producers say sometimes. Like, it's not that they don't say it; their body language just says it. Sometimes when they have to co-produce certain bodies of work with other producers, they feel a little the type of way. But some of them have said that relationships help them to not feel the type of way about like co-producing things. Did the relationship that you had with Young Jonn or Jiggy help you guys form relationships through producing certain pivotal albums?
I think before the music we had built a friendship like in the studio. Like, yes, it was through music, but like it transcended into like
Real
true
life.
brotherhood.
Yeah.
And Jiggy and I really didn't co-produce on a lot of songs,
On a lot of albums, on a few albums.
but we did like projects and we'd also have conversations and like go through stuff and like just lifing. You understand?
Life.
So that was like, that created a bond that I feel like also comes through the music, like, because you can't help it. It's energy. You understand? You will feel the energy in the music. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hold our thought, Pheelz. We're going on a break. This should be Excel's job, but it came late.
Can Tolani not do this
We're going on a
again?
break, and while we're on a break, we're going to be having conversations. If you want to catch up on those conversations, we are out on Monday on all podcast platforms. You can also catch us on YouTube and listen to us. Drag Excel, please. Thank you very much. We're back very soon.
Can't drag
Yeah.
me, bro.
Please, can we turn this thing around? Next time, please, let's
Let
Excel
Excel
do
be
it.
doing this one.
I'm
Can't drag me, bro.
Please continue. Pheelz, you were saying something.
Okay. What was I saying again?
But you were like,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Jiggy.
I think it was done. Actually.
yeah, he was actually done.
It was done. When did you? I think you said it's on a few platforms, but when did you meet Baddo, and how did you decide to start working? That's two questions.
I met Baddo. It was on the set of the Eniduro shoot.
What?
Yeah, like that was because that was. I had seen him like a couple of times, but
Because
like,
of Cabasa.
yeah, through like ID, but like that was when we really sat down and like yarned. And I was like, yeah, bye. Don't tell me about to say you bad. Why you been here with one? Like, based on my boy yarns now. We got to the studio, I think days after. And I would always be in the studio normally because I was the intern. So it was like, let's work now. Let's vibe. We just started vibing and like started learning like our vibes together. Because ID Cabasa wouldn't want anybody to touch the system. So I stole the password. 'Cause, yeah, So we started like logging in late at night. We would work and like that's how I just kept going. We'll delete it from the computer.
How did you get lights though when there
We
was?
would save money for fuel now. We're gonna buy fuel. Because my dad used to give me money every week, like I think like 2K or something.
It's okay.
Um,
This is very similar to what TG was doing. Do you remember when TG told us?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would like contribute as well, like would turn on the gen, work, delete it, put it on that micro SD memory card. Yeah.
How did you remain a kid, walking amongst a lot? Because at the time, Coded Tunes was like Reminisce.
Yeah, it was
like
crazy.
Ajasa. It was Baddo. It was a lot of people that were. It was working Banky W a lot at the time as well. Like that's ID Cabasa. How did you remain a child? Because you were still a child technically in that moment.
And did those relationships like make you grow older like quickly or?
No, not really. Like I was just excited to be a fly on the wall, literally,
Right.
and to just
be in those places.
watch and like occasionally make
Comments.
like no, like produce,
Okay,
like
produce.
like just alone, just the fact that I had like good studio speakers, like I could hear things from like it's literally from studio to industry. Like, do you understand? Like that's where they make the final product, and I was just excited to be there and to like see the kind of speakers they use and how they record and like how they make harmonies and like all this thing. And I was just there like, yeah, I can do this too. Like it's not
What's
mass, it's going. Yeah.
Was there a moment where that made you realize that I'm actually amongst men?
There's been a couple of moments actually. I can remember moments with Banky, just like in the studio recording. I can remember moments with Nice recording. Reminisce would pull up sometimes. SARS would pull up. Yeah, like Phase, like there were best sessions just happening left, right, because Coded Tunes was just churning out like
Back to back.
And we had in-house artists as well that were crazy. There was Seriki, there was Kayefi, there was Olamide, there was I think AB Fresh, B Rank. Oh my days.
That's B ranks, man.
Huh?
Is it B rank or B bank? Oh, B
No,
ranks.
there's B Rank and then there's
and
B
B-Banks,
Banks. Yeah. It's crazy Coded Tunes days, man.
Do you look back at Coded Tunes and think what could have been?
Nah, man. I would always forever like love that moment, and like I feel like they have the whole like legacy that ID Cabasa has created with that label would forever remain in the history of like Afrobeats. And I
Yeah.
feel like the spirit of like Coded Tunes still lives on in like
Absolutely.
the offsprings.
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
Definitely.
So like that's how I see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with ID Cabasa right now?
That's my OG. Still get on phone calls, still yarn. He still screams at me.
Oh,
Yeah, no, ID Cabasa is OG. Yeah, but yeah, like, we're still, yeah.
Shout out ID Cabasa. If you are joining us back, welcome. We took a break. And if you want to catch the full episode, it drops on Monday on all streaming platforms and the video will be up on YouTube. Welcome back. I have to ask a question.
Yes.
How much do you listen to music, like new music? You know how like Fridays some
Yeah,
music comes out. How much do you listen to new music? Because for you it's different. You're not just you're producer, artist,
Yeah.
How much?
I feel like I have phases. Sometimes I go through like phases where I just consume, and sometimes I just shut the world off, literally. And especially when it's time to make and create, like, because I try as much as possible to like be inspired but not influenced.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You understand? So like I just try and like turn out the noise as much as possible and just be in my zen and create. You understand?
Can you really escape being influenced? Can you really?
Because when it comes to not being influenced, when you say you're trying not to be influenced by what is happening when it comes to the music space, there's a thin line between like trying not to be influenced and not taking into cognizance what is trending or what is being spoken about and sounding like not growing.
Or what
I get your point.
work.
Why I even ask that question? Because to me, being influenced is unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay.
You actually don't even know when it has happened.
Yeah.
You know, like for example, Rema dropped today. When he dropped the snippet, the
D&D.
preview of D&D, what were people saying? Do you remember?
One
Day Call. I don't think Rema went into the studio
To channel One Day Call.
Do you understand? But people were like, "Oh, we can trace." Do you understand?
But that's not being influenced. That's inspiration. Like that's what I see. I see that as, and like, cause it's like we need to stop. What's the word? Compartmentalizing music. Like I feel like we put ourselves in boxes when we try to like do that. For me, it's all energy, it's all music, it's all frequencies. Like we've all assimilated all this language of music all through our lives. Do you understand? Like we've soaked up all this musical knowledge. Like I feel like every single Nigerian, and that's why I tell like Americans about Afrobeats. Like it's really a culture and a spirit, like because it's decades of soaking, like it's decades of assimilating like musical knowledge and musical vibe and energy, like from the fellas, like your dad listening to, like there were artists that your dad listened to that he would play in the house, and you as a kid would soak that up and just unknowingly. Do you understand? But you just be humming it or even vibing to it, and that might not even be what was in vogue at that time. But you just fucked with it
and it influences you.
And it influences you. Unconsciously you soak that up, and then like your dad has done that as well in his generation. So like, and this is what the music has become now, Afro beats. Like, but I feel like we have to be really careful with like boxing it and understand that it is collective effort of generational musical knowledge. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
I agree with you. Point.
Do you understand? Like, so like we need to treat it as that, and like also educate like newcomers, like, because I feel like now we have the whole world
looking at us. So it's time for education, and it's time to do it collectively and understand that we've been doing it collectively. There's just too much ego for us to see it. Do you understand? Like, and then we should just come together and save these lights. Like, that's how I see this whole opportunity that we have now, because it's crazy outside. Like,
it is.
It's literally Afrobeats to the world in every sense of the word. Like, it is to the world.
And this is our second
wave.
This is our third wave globally. Nigerian music on the global stage. This is actually
third wave.
This is like our third wave.
How?
Third wave?
Break down the wave.
We had a mid after the Civil War. We had one very small, which is like the psychedelic rock, psychedelic funk era. Very small.
The William Oyabos and co.
Yeah, and then there was the 80s where there was actually a rush. Not as much as this.
Exactly, but this is the biggest wave.
This is the biggest for a lot of reasons. For a lot of reasons, but it's like the third wave.
Like, King Sunny Ade was doing some small arena.
People have been signed to Sony
record label.
Yes.
You know,
so
this also what we just said now adds to that your point.
Saying that people have been
collective
history. Like everything led to this point.
I think every single thing led to this point.
How would you describe yourself as a person? Are you like an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Away from the music, who are you? Like, how would you describe yourself?
To be honest, I have phases. So sometimes I'm outside. Sometimes I'm
like yesterday. You had
outside.
A lot of energy.
Yeah,
I saw.
You had a lot of energy.
I saw you.
Yeah, I'm fully outside sometimes, but then sometimes I just like to be at home. You know, maybe playing PlayStation or reading a book or just doing some boring stuff.
What was the last book you read?
There's a book I'm reading now called The Chronicles of Sanat Kumara. It's beautiful.
That name sounds
yeah.
very zen.
No, it's a geeky.
Sounds very
like
But- but
some of the things
what
that this
is-
guy was talking about. Zen, your center.
saying not to send someone
Your chakra.
Speaking of books, I recently I can't even explain how I stumbled, but just Googling something and I entered Wikipedia and I entered C.S. Lewis, the guy that wrote Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, okay.
And I found out that C.S. Lewis and J.R. Tolkien, the guy that wrote Lord of the Rings, they were friends. And
Makes
actually, those two books
What?
are actual Christian books. Like they think the
The
origin
elements of Lord of the Rings I not take a lot from like the
What they
Old
brought-
Testament
Yeah,
especially.
Both of them. I don't know
I see it
about it.
actually.
I don't know anything about the guy that wrote Narnia.
yeah.
I see
I
it
like there's
actually.
an entire Wikipedia page
Dedicated to
Dedicated
that.
to that.
So like
I was
drawing
blown away.
inferences.
I was blown away.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
What's like so when you say for you now, right? You say sometimes you're really outside and sometimes you're inside, right? So it's not like the different phases for you.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes the personalities of artists become like who they are when it comes to their brand, or I don't know how to put it. Like when you're a type of way as a person, when you become like an artist or a celebrity, it just transcends into your brand, and it's not like you're trying to do something. And sometimes artists be building brands, and it's like, oh, this is how I want to be known for, and that's why when conversations happen on social media, they'll say, oh, this artist is very it's not outspoken. This person likes to keep to himself. Or Davido is more fun. I feel like all of those things are things that you are as a person before you come into the music space. How do you think that you are as a person when it comes to the music? How would you want the fans to like see you? Because people always have different conversations every week on social media and say, oh, this artist is this way. Oh, Davido is accessible. Whiskey is not accessible. This artist is fun. This artist is not fun. How would you want to?
I think the first question before we get into that should be: are you even a social media person?
Yeah, maybe.
Am I a social
Do you,
media
Yeah.
person?
do you ever scroll through social media actively just for leisure?
I think we're all hooked at this point. So I go through social media. Yeah, like I go through like Instagram and like check stories. Like it's fun for me. Like so yeah, I think I'm a social media person.
Are
So,
you
like, you
pushed
see
to
things
comment on anything though? Like, are you pushed to comment on anything?
That temptation deal, especially when like. Because the energy on Twitter sometimes is
Okay.
crazy, bro. Like,
Why
but-
are celebrities scared? But before
No,
we
it's
even
not
ask that,
You
Yeah.
have to be.
but
You
wait,
have
wait,
to be
before
controlled.
we even get to the Twitter,
It's not fair. You just have to see it for what
Yeah.
it is. It's not fear.
so it's what
just what it is. It's like
you can't
I
have the
feel like
conversation.
There are certain things that you shouldn't be doing as a celebrity. It's just as simple.
no. So my mom would say, "No, be every fight where they bring on your door
Mm-hmm.
and you go fight." You understand? Like you choose. Like that's
So do you think Twitter is like a platform for fighting?
no.
That's not what it's saying.
I mean,
That's not what I'm saying. Like
Okay.
what I'm just saying is the energy there sometimes can be negative.
And toxic. Very toxic.
You get me? But then like it's human nature. It is what it is. There has to be a negative for there to be positive. Do you understand?
Look at
aside
what they are
from that,
dragging.
Just have to
the way
focus
the
on
platform
positive.
is
It's
built,
constructed, yeah.
Twitter is built for chaos to move.
And that's
how
that's
it is.
but that's not the truth, bro.
And that's not the
true.
truth.
Wait. That's not the truth.
I don't agree.
I'm telling you something.
the door.
That's
Yeah.
okay. We're going to wait for you till you come.
No.
continue.
people
We'll
will
wait
be-
for you.
People will be
Continue
blanking.
the
No, now.
conversation. So wait, but I feel like the only reason people sometimes feel like Twitter can be toxic because of conversations.
No. Twitter is
People are
toxic.
giving opinions.
Twitter
no.
is Melody, calm down.
Instagram is just pictures.
See, no, Twitter is Instagram is even toxic. That's even toxicity. Wait, Twitter is toxic, but I've said it several times on different formats of this show that there was an interview that Jack Dorsey did on. It was either New York Times Daily, the Daily on New York Times, or this podcast that's hosted by Restless. What's his name again? The Indian guy that's the editor of this tech platform, where he was saying that they created Twitter with a different thing in mind. Do you know hashtags was the creation of users?
Yes.
Do you know that?
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that.
Hashtags was people. Twitter didn't introduce.
Did he introduce the hashtag?
No. People started using hashtags, not Twitter. Like they created Twitter with a different type of thing in mind. People started creating different use for it in their minds. Do you understand? Like different ways that the people that created the platform will not be like, we didn't. How did people find this
Idea.
idea? Like the hashtag thing, for example.
I hear you.
Yeah.
How can people started the hashtag thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Twitter.
Yeah.
You understand?
I get your point, right?
I get your point, but my point for that.
Well, let me explain what I meant by that. Twitter was very woke-sided for a while.
Oh, absolutely.
It was very, very
It's
woke-sided.
still kind of woke.
You know, Elon has
decentralized
Elon
it.
has tried small.
Decentralized
Right? So
the
Twitter was
power.
very
Yeah.
woke-sided.
Yes.
So there were certain conversations before, if you had on Twitter, you could easily get suspended, you could easily get blocked.
Elon was like, fuck that
Do you
shit.
understand? And then Elon comes,
Elon,
another
law.
extremist,
And say whatever
and
you want to
says,
say.
say whatever you want to say. And now Twitter is like both left and right.
Knocking
Everybody's
each other.
saying-
It's a
The
marketplace.
real problem of Twitter is that it is very difficult for some reason to have nuanced conversations
You can't.
where people don't want to hear it. People want to be like,
You want to
oh,
choose
you
a side.
did this. Like people on Twitter arguments happen like the whole world is in black and white,
Yeah.
which is rubbish, which is a very simplistic.
Both for the liberals and the
Yeah,
conservatives.
which is a very simplistic way of looking at the world. There are things that happen that there are multiple layered conversations to be had. But it's like, this person is wrong, this person is right. Case closed.
Let me tell you why that's a problem. So Twitter is like an exhibition platform.
Yes, it is.
Do you understand? Nobody wants to be wrong in the eye of the people.
Everyone wants to come off as
But everybody
smart.
wants to show that they are smart.
Yeah.
It's a show and proof platform.
Yeah.
Where everybody wants to have a point. Nobody wants to look stupid. So that's why even when people know that they are stupid, they are still going to maintain the same. They will double down and maintain the same energy. Look at what happened with Ace yesterday.
They cooked my man.
Let me tell you.
They cooked my
Let me
man.
tell you how
Did you
wild
see
that
that?
shit is.
No.
So it starts with Maraji.
So wait, before we even get to like the cooking part, what is your opinion? Do you have like an opinion on like how people
How women
on
dress.
fashion? Maybe on fashion generally. Like, are you a conservative person when it comes to like dressing up? Like, oh, people shouldn't show skin. What's your general opinion about that? Or just do whatever you want to do?
Man, I think do whatever you want to do, man. Like, live your life. Like,
Whatever the consequences, handle it.
yeah, like last, everything a human construct. You
What is human
understand?
construct now? The clothes, right?
Yeah, like last, fashion is a human construct. Like, who made the rules and who says you can't break them? Do you understand? So just be you, man. Live your life. And like, last, I feel like opinion be like our soul. Everybody has one.
That's
So
a bar, bro.
like,
So now this is the gist.
it
So,
is what it is, I guess.
It is what it is.
so Maraji put out a video where she was talking about like decency and how she feels like these days women are revealing a lot when it comes to dress up and how they are showing off their bodies and stuff like that. And she was just speaking about decency and how she feels like these days women are always scantily dressed. And she was just saying that people just talking about decency and the lack of it. So his response to it and says, "Oh, Maraji gets wala, but this dressing situation, she no lie. The way babes they dress lately, they fear me. No room for imagination again because you can see everything she working with. It's all fun and games, but let's speak the truth. Some outfits are not meant for outside." And people now came for him heavy on Twitter.
Whoosh.
So it's like the opinion was not like, so are people allowed to speak on other people's
No,
dress
that was not the
sense?
opinion.
So what was the opinion?
That was not the opinion.
The opinion was that what happened was that they knock
Yes, they're not him now.
his soul.
No, let me tell
They knock
let me
him.
tell you. Let me
That's
tell you what the
crazy.
problem is. Another problem with Twitter is woke people are the enemies of liberalism. I've made it up in my mind that wokeness is not liberalism. Wokeness is an extreme expression of liberalism. Liberalism itself is not the enemy. It's the expression of it that is the enemy. And anything that's extreme does not help humanity in any way.
Can
right?
solve problems though.
It doesn't solve anything. You are creating more.
Extremism
While you are solving
never
more
solves
problems,
anything.
extremism never.
It's
it
a
creates more
temporary
problems.
bandage and it creates more problems.
Before we talk about extremism, can I get alcohol, please? I'm outside tonight. Get a drink.
Please.
I'm outside tonight. Let me
Can you
get a
pour it
drink.
Where are you outside? It's not here. Or you
Yeah,
It's
but
not
it's
here,
a Friday
I'm
night
outside.
now.
Can they
It's a
pour it
Friday
for me?
night. Huh?
Or they should bring it
Whoa,
here.
let's just bring it.
They should bring it
Them
here.
are-
They're not
Let me
paying
sort
us.
them.
That's the problem. Bring it here
No,
with
don't
the
bring
cups,
it.
please.
Don't bring it
No,
inside
you
like.
give
No,
him,
in a
you
cup,
give him,
in a
he'll
cup
handle
as
it.
well.
He'll handle it.
Them
So-
will handle it.
The idea is sorry, Pheelz. I guess a little geeky here.
Nah, no problem.
The problem with those people is they want everybody to agree with them, And there is no room for, there are two sides to certain conversations. And then there's no room for, there are borderline conversations. Whichever side you fall is fine. We don't need to agree. It's okay. Like, for example, I'm of the opinion that there are certain things that should be kept for certain occasions. If you are going to the clubs, I don't mind if you are dressed however you want to dress. But you can't be going to a wedding and be dressed the way you are dressed the way you are going to a club. I think certain clothes are meant for certain occasions. That's my opinion. I'm not saying don't dress that way. I'm not forcing my opinions on you.
Yeah.
Do whatever the fuck you want. This is my opinion.
I think for me the problem is people don't ask the why question.
Do you
a
understand?
lot. And I will start with Maraji. I think she has addressed this before.
Yeah.
I think she's spoken about it before, and she got backlash. And I think, and I may be wrong, it's possible she did it again.
Yeah.
To spread the message of attention. If
Facts,
they happen,
very
she's a
possible.
content creator.
Yeah.
If they happen,
Yeah.
right? And she can't say she didn't know that kind of reaction would come. She didn't care. She's also put herself out there as a very Christian,
Conservative Christian
so
babe.
we can chalk it down to maybe
Christianity.
religious zeal.
Like, understand.
You understand?
why.
So that's a why for her. Now, another thing too is with certain things that we do, again, unconsciously, we don't ask ourselves why we do these things, right? So if you're saying you want to dress however you want to dress,
It's okay.
this is man or woman, it's fine. You have the right to.
Yeah.
But you should once in a while question why you do certain things. Now, sometimes an argument I've heard from women a lot is
To make myself
feel
happy.
good. We do it to feel confident. We do it to feel sexy, right? And that's also a very interesting angle. But there's also the angle of sometimes you do it for attention, and that is fine.
That's fine.
It's not a bad thing.
It's fine.
That's
Exhibitionism is a state of mind.
That is fine.
Exhibitionism is why some people are in porn. It's a type of should I say personality or a type of mindset. Some people are just exhibitionists by nature.
And then some people also do it because other people have been doing it. You
And they
understand?
don't think that they can feel sexy if they don't do that.
I feel
Something
like
that
all this
something that is actually very crazy to me is when you think about the larger context
Picture.
of society, and let's even say we bring it into children. And let me give you context, right? You don't teach children, don't do what you tell them to do.
They
do
do
what
what you
Children do what they see you do.
Yeah.
That's how children grow up.
Yep.
Do you understand? So that's why a lot of times even parents will say, "Oh, we sent you to church."
It's called social engineering.
They actually looked at the real you, and they do it unconsciously to children.
Social
They
engineering.
see what you do and they do it. Have you seen videos on Instagram of like kids, baby girls twerking?
Yeah.
They probably just saw it on TV or they saw it somewhere. So I think what bothers me sometimes with this kind of conversations is that we don't ask why we do certain things, and we don't think of the people that we are
Except we're
influencing.
taking it too far. People are not smart. People
No,
are
no,
not
no,
smart
no.
enough. No.
We don't think about
Stop
people.
people wearing what they want to wear.
You can't say that.
Like you can't see
And
that.
then
I
the
think
general one that scares
going
me
to
the
say
most.
something now.
The general one that
I want to
scares
say
me-
something now.
The general one that scares me the most is when people do this. So, and it's a recurring thing I see on social media is, I am who I am. This is who I am. I
Accept
do
it
what
the
I
way I
want
am.
to do. It's worse than that. It's a very dangerous. Do you know what it means if everybody in the world did what
Says
they
accept
wanted
me
to
for
do?
who I am.
Do you know what that means? Have you thought of that sentence in the weight of it? Do you say, "This is who I am. Accept me as I am"? That means you accept a pedophile. That means
I think the world will
you
get.
accept a lot of things.
I think the world will get.
There
to a
is
point.
a need
I think
at all
that's
times.
false
I think the world.
equivalence.
Okay.
I think the world will get
Perhaps
to a
you
point.
can- you can
Excel.
say-
False equivalence.
No, wait.
Mm-mm.
Let's not argue.
No. She actually has
false
a point.
equivalence.
She has a point there, and I can actually side
it.
with it to a certain degree. That is false equivalence. But what I'm really getting at is that my analogy was wrong. I would take that back.
I don't think your analogy is wrong. Let me tell you why it's not wrong. There is a movement now called incest sexuality.
Yes, I'm aware. I know. I was getting there.
There's a movement like incest sexuality.
They do their protests.
Talk.
They do their protests.
Yeah,
and
there was
stuff
a
like that.
TED
I know. I'm
Talk
aware of it.
with a woman where she was talking about incest sexuality, that some people are genuinely attracted to children.
Wow.
It's on YouTube.
That's crazy.
There are scientists that have even written articles to back them
There
up.
are articles
sure
that
people
are,
are
there was an
pedophiles.
article written in
Those
German
people
that I
are
had to
pedophiles.
it's a research paper written in German. I had to translate it to English all the way
Yeah.
for me to read it. It's like a manifesto for them that they are going to go by the way of race, of how black people got integrated in society post-slavery, how LGBTQ movement got to move out. They are going to use empathy
For who now?
for
For
themselves.
themselves,
to get
for
accepted.
themselves now.
Who now? Who is themselves? Now
This-
pedophiles.
This incest sexuality.
Incest sexuality means you want to be able to sleep with
Which
your
was-
children, your blood, consanguinity and family. It's crazy, man. You understand? But
Yeah.
guess what? Do you know the wilder shit? Give it to 100 years.
And if we did, one
Give it
thing that
100 years.
one thing that when I saw people attacking his, I sort of understood it because think about it. For a long time, we more or less society told women you must dress like this. If you dress like this, you're wrong. And we're now in an era where we've told women, okay, you are free to do what you want. If you come out, no, well, you can
Come
you
in.
can come in, you can come in. It's a podcast, not CNN.
And even on CNN itself, go.
Do you understand? So if you come out in this kind of era and you say something that seems to be policing women, you shouldn't be surprised at
When they knock
the
you.
lash you will
Yep.
get.
So now on this dressing thing, before I say what I want to say, Pheelz, what do you think though? What do you think about?
Yeah, I said what to tell you.
Yeah,
No, he did now. He did say it.
Oh,
Yeah, he did.
okay.
You know, let
okay.
me
So
just-
I feel like let
No, let me
me
just,
give.
you wrap it up now.
Jesus
Calm down.
Christ.
Just to give Pheelz an angle to just the point that people are not smart.
I'm not smart. Oh, okay.
Do you know so I feel like sometimes when people understand that issues are borderline on social media, what they do is they pick a line.
And they stay there.
They pick a line that it's not, and they pick a line and
Or
turn it
the
into a lie.
left to your
against you.
imagination.
Do you know
That
why?
with a his.
Do you know why? Because they know that most people on social media are fucking dumb fucks. They are not smart. So the moment if an influential person has an opinion, everybody else will follow suit.
I don't think I'll put it. I get what you mean, but I won't put it like that.
I'll put it like that.
Let me
Excel.
tell you how I would put it.
Okay, how would you put it?
But Melody, do you want to speak now? Should I?
No,
finish?
go.
Okay.
Melody is not speaking.
So,
yet.
how I would put it is that human beings, by default, all of us, there are very few of us that are not like that.
That are alphas.
By default, are sheep.
I agree.
So now for this
Human beings,
for this
by
conversation
default,
about
sheep.
No,
About-
wait now. Don't.
No, let her go. Let her go. Let her go.
No, I mean I'm not done.
so back to what
I'm
I
not
was.
done,
No, I'm
please. I'm not done.
Wait. On the question of decency, right? I feel like that decency conversation is a social construct in the way that decency is different across
Cultures.
cultures.
Across cultures, across.
If you're sitting down in front of a video and you're talking about women's decency and asking women to dress, it's weird because you're even having that conversation is not even fully covered. It's not like you're wearing jalami that covers your entire face. There are
But-
cultures where what you are wearing in that video, which is you not covering your hair,
Yeah.
can be seen as indecent.
But she's a Nigerian speaking, so it should
Even
infer
in
that.
Nigeria, some Muslims will tell you that women who open their hair
Yep.
are indecent.
Yeah,
Yep.
but she's a Christian speaking.
Exactly. So my point is that Muslims can have a problem with
Eh, but
you.
Melody, what you are doing
Melody,
is now- Melody, what
you
you
are now doing the false
you are
equivalence.
doing
You
How?
are doing the false
No,
equivalence.
how?
No, that's not false equivalent.
Bro,
that's even
Maraji
like,
is not speaking to a Muslim. She's not speaking and expecting
She's
a Muslim
speaking
to go and
generally.
take it up.
So my point is that generally, if you're talking about decency, the way you call yourself decent, the way you see yourself as decent, some other people might not see
I
you
agree.
as decent. That's my point.
I agree. Okay, that's your point.
That's
You
what I
didn't
was
explain
trying
it
to
well. You
say.
didn't explain it well.
But
I
you
get
didn't
you
allow
now.
me finish.
No, that's
So-
not why.
no, what
That's
I was
not why.
trying to
Stop
say
being
is
a
that-
victim all the
sorry,
time.
Please, guys,
guys,
what I'm
guys,
trying to
calm
say is
down.
that what she's wearing in that video, having that conversation, strapless, with your hair uncovered, a Muslim will see it and say that you are indecent. What I literally said.
I think. See,
That
listen.
Muslims will call what
But
you
that
are
doesn't
wearing
hold water.
indecent.
You
Look,
have
guys,
a
guys,
point,
we are
but that
going to
doesn't hold
argue.
water
We are going to- let's
to the
not
general
argue.
conversation.
Let's
But
not
wait,
Let's not.
guys, we're about to go on a
Okay.
break. If you want
I
to
hear
get
you.
the remaining of this argument, please make sure that you watch
Pheelz
the
is
full
just
video
drinking his drink.
on
Doesn't mind
Monday
anybody.
and
I'm
catch
just
the full
like- I'm
audio
just
on
watching.
streaming platforms.
So here's my problem. Why I say people are not smart. So he says, Melody, read that line out because you also fell victim to it.
I did fall victim.
You
I
fell
actually
victim.
hear what they are
You are
saying.
talking nonsense.
I hear what they are saying. I hear how
You are,
they
I'm
feel.
very disappointed in you.
That's
So what
No,
you-
she has read it already.
No,
No, the line. There's
She-
She
the
read
line.
it. She read the full
I
text.
said
So there's
it
a part
already.
in the line where he said, where
He
he
leaves-
said,
he leaves
the way
no room
ladies
for
are dressing,
imagination.
they leave little to the imagination.
Let
Right?
me redo. Is that what he said? Yeah, that's what he said.
He said,
yeah.
you know what people
No,
are,
leaves. Okay, no. The way babes they dress lately, they fear me. No room.
No
This
room.
is
Thank
Now,
you. Thank you. No room for imagination.
Melody.
No
You
room
can't,
for
don't project. Don't project the limitations.
No room
Calm
for
down.
imagination
Don't
again.
protect. Calm down. Don't project the limitations of your mind on other people.
I beg.
I'm sorry,
I beg.
but don't project the limitations of your mind on other people.
I beg.
Now, leaving no room to the imagination. What
Did
does
you say
it mean?
leaving no room? You said no room for imagination.
What does it mean to leave no room for imagination?
You're adding that leave.
Ah,
You said no room for
I
imagination.
literally sent you screenshots yesterday, and you are still arguing.
There's
Do you
no-
see the problem with woke people?
No, there's no leave there now.
Let's move to the next conversation. Pheelz, Alpha, why does GOBE not have a video?
How you take move
No,
from
we can't move like
point?
that. You can't move like that. You can't
What kind
move
of
like that.
journey is that?
Sorry, my brother.
You can't move like that. You can't move
Let's
like
not
that.
dwell on this. We are going to argue, and it's not.
I mean, we just never got to making a video for it, I guess.
I thought that song was.
I thought
this
we.
one.
I
Yeah,
remember
it's
when it
amazing
came out.
song.
Me and Motorani,
Q4
we thought
2019.
that
we thought it
would
was
be a
going to be-
serious
it was going
hit
to-
song.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
The universe proved us wrong, but the universe took an L on that one, I believe.
Yeah.
Because that's a great song.
Because that's
Yeah,
not.
that's
Do you think it
not
can
good.
That's
come
a
back?
great song. I think so. With
I mean,
TikTok
I think
and
any
everything.
song can come back at
Yep,
this point.
I
Like,
agree.
when the stars align, I guess.
That's a great song, bro.
Yeah.
That's a
Amazing
great song. And then another question I wanted to ask you was, you went on a break in like 2019, or was it 2018? And then you came back as
Oh yeah.
What precipitated that break?
I think I started doing a lot of like self work. Like, I think I just like wanted to pause and just go and like listen and just watch and just find a new me. Cause I feel like for my mind sometimes it gets, I give myself new challenges like unconsciously. Like I just want to test new waters and just, redefine myself. You get so yeah. So that was what happened.
Did you feel
and
like
I
you
came
burned
out
out?
as- Huh?
Did you feel like you burned out? before
No,
that
it's
point?
just because at some point as a creative, it starts feeling like you are manufacturing, not creating. Do you understand?
Facts.
Yeah,
Like-
actually, it feels robotic.
Yeah, like it feels like you're doing you're making Oshes tea or you're making an
Oshes,
iPhone.
Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it started feeling like that, and I just knew needed to take a break because for me, like, it's all about the love for the art. Like, yes, blow is nice. Yes, fame and fortune is amazing. But like, I feel like at the root of this seed, like, it's the love and the passion for the process of making the art. Like, I feel like that's where my own soul lies. You get, and like at that point, it started like feeling like work. You get, so I just had to like just soft pedal a bit.
What was the last thing you produced before that break?
I can't remember because what I produced might not be what was released.
Yeah.
You get, so I can't really remember.
And RIdimakoolayor, this is going to sound like a very radio question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What was the inspiration for RIdimakoolayor?
What did you say? Did you say it's going to sound like a radio question?
Yeah, I don't.
That's a diss, bro.
It's okay,
I don't give a
Excel.
shit.
Hey,
It's okay.
that's
Please.
a diss
I don't give a shit.
to OAPs nationwide.
I don't give a
I
shit.
can't. I won't
I
stand
love
for
you
it.
guys, though.
I won't
Sorry.
stand for it. What?
But
Like,
you know
what
it's true.
the hell? No, it's not.
Okay. Pheelz, please go, bro. My
But
brother.
yeah, I get your points.
Of course.
So what was the question again? I got
That
distracted.
what inspired
RIdimakoolayor.
RIdimakoolayor. Where did it come from?
It came from Any Money actually. It was
Shout out Any Money.
shout out DJ Any Money. We're in the studio in Bags, and we're just vibing, and he just said it out of nowhere. Like I was like, bro, this RIdimakoolayor. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, wait, pause,
Take it
record.
again.
Yeah, so I just saved it and I cut out the first re. I'm like, okay, because I knew like I was looking for like a new
Tag.
Tag.
That switch
Tag.
from RIdimakoolayor to Re was
because I had a shift in sound. Like,
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
like I created like
You did.
I was on a new frequency at
You
that
did.
point, like creatively and musically.
The
So,
beats for GOBE, what's the title of that song? Gobe, Billionaire, Okay Sona. They were definitely of a different frequency.
So before you continue, guys, we're back from the break. Remember, we're still here with Pheelz. Some things we have discussed you probably missed if you're watching this live. So the full thing comes out on Monday on YouTube and on streaming platforms. Make sure you check it out. But yeah, what was the first song that had Ri?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You did so because
That's a good
some is just Ri, some is Ri.
That's a good question.
RIdimakoolayor.
That's a full steez.
That's actually a good question.
So what was the first song? Do you remember?
I think the first time I heard it was on YBNL Mafia Family.
Yeah, I think it would be Oil and Gas.
Those songs that he dropped that period.
No, but it's the album. It's the YBNL Mafia.
I think it's the YBNL
album.
Mafia.
Yeah, that's where we
YBNL
started.
I think where I
That's
noticed
where I
this was either between Oil and Gas or Buga Small Small.
I think it was oil and
No.
gas for me.
Oh, I remember Buga.
YBNL Mafia Family was December 2018. That was when he came back. I think.
but
When
Oil
was
and Gas was on
2019.
YBNL Mafia.
It was on Barbie and Mafia.
Oil and Gas was not there.
No, I don't think Oil and Gas was
wasn't?
there.
Oil and Gas was the following year.
Are you sure?
No, it wasn't there.
Okay,
It
so
wasn't there.
YBNL Mafia would be.
Yeah.
Those two singles came
With
out
the album.
almost close to
So
each
it
other.
was the singles that came out first was Woske, January. Then and I refused to downgrade
yes,
from
yes,
God to
yes.
human
Yeah.
spirit.
Yeah,
And
Spirit.
then oil and
came
gas
out.
actually.
Spirit
true.
is so slept on, by the way.
Bro.
Yeah.
La
That
la
song is
la
amazing.
la la la.
Yeah.
That song is amazing.
Did you produce it?
Yeah.
That's a great song.
I
love it.
loved Buga
love
Small
it.
Small so much.
It's a really
that
good
period
song. I
when it
agree.
came out.
So
I
with
loved
that,
it so
so
much.
in the conversation of like the music space, like you talking about this, your RIdimakoolayor.
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 Yeah.
And Any Money being the one that recorded it. What I know you have a relationship with Any Money, obviously. What did you pay him to do that?
Nah,
That's his
That's
guy
his
now.
brother, bro.
That's my point.
that's family, bro.
So that's my point. Like, how do you decide? How does it work in the industry to say, oh, for this person, I'm not going to pay this person. No, but we have a good relationship, because now we see things where people do things, and tomorrow it's like 10 years after, people are like, oh no, I want you to pay me for that.
Are you talking about Damikre and Davido?
Yeah,
Is that where you are going?
Yeah, I want you to pay me for that. You did not. Do you understand? And then we're like, oh, back in the day we were guys and we're doing it out of friendship. Then 10 years after, it's like, oh, I want you to pay me for that.
So what is the question?
It doesn't apply.
It doesn't.
That situation doesn't apply.
No, I think the question is, how do you decide who to bill and who to not bill?
And what's supposed to be billed for?
I mean, at the end of the day, there's no textbook now, so I guess it's how you feel, or like what you choose, or who you choose to. Like it's
and the level of relationship.
Like
At the time.
I don't think I have a say in like what people choose to do. Do you understand? Like it's your life, like, and there's no textbook that says, okay, build this one, no, build this one. Like, it's your time, it's your gift, it's your talent, it's you.
You know one song that made me respect Pheelz on another level? Juju Guns N' Roses.
Ooh.
You love that song too much, Tolani.
Yeah.
Tolani loves that song too much.
Yeah, that was a scary one.
Bro.
It was a scary one.
That was a scary one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Electric, my body, they shock.
I feel like, but it's not too late. But I feel, or it may be, but I feel like we didn't enjoy your hip hop production side a lot.
It pains me. It pains
And
me.
also because I feel like rappers then didn't reach out to you a lot for that. I think maybe if they reached out to you, it was for Bedu.
Yeah, I feel like
But
everybody wanted the
your hip hop
Yeah.
side, your hip hop
Yeah.
side,
Fuse
your
hits.
hip hop side was
and
was
chopping
crazy.
the samples, bro.
Yeah, hip
The
hop side's
samples,
crazy.
bro.
I'm scary with hip hop though.
Yeah, hip hop
Yeah.
side's
Very
crazy.
scary.
Would you just like to produce a hip hop album, someone?
I would. I mean, but I feel like the sound has to morph into
That.
something new,
Yeah.
because it's starting to feel like manufacturing again. Like we like,
That's a good question, Excel.
you get me? Like I feel like it has to. I feel like it's gonna get to another level, especially with like African hip hop.
Yeah, African hip
I
hop
feel like
is
it's gonna transcend.
And I feel like you guys created. I don't want to say created because people are going to come for me.
Contributed.
I feel like you guys.
played a huge role.
I feel like you guys
Played a huge role.
popularized a sound that I feel like would have become
Everybody else they
template
watch
for
their
African
awards
rap
like
music.
this.
What?
Everybody else they watch their awards
My
like
brother,
this. Nobody watch trends.
may nobody come say, "Oh my God, culture custodian."
Everybody,
No,
we they watch and pray.
May I don't go drag you by your hair.
Crazy.
So, like, I feel like the sound that birthed our goons me caused trouble.
yeah.
That Atilogu type of sound.
Yeah.
I feel like it could have been our sound,
Yeah.
our rap
Hip-hop.
music sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really generally feel so. Do you agree with me that we under-harnessed that sound?
I mean, that's a very cultural and spiritual sound, Sha. Like
It is.
It's like tribal to like
Yeah.
the roots.
Traditional.
It's
Very
very
traditional.
traditional, and I feel like I wouldn't say for that sound, but I feel like in general, like go bad if we check back once in a while. Like there are some like spirits where men don't do. Like there are some energies where men don't create. Where if you can carry it and just like be inspired by it, like sometimes it's good to just go analog, listen to vinyl, like go back in time and see what like niggas have done and
I
like
agree.
the
I agree
stage that they've been
100%.
on, and just get inspiration from that and
Yeah.
like merge that with what you have and your
Right
source,
now.
I
and
agree.
then just create something. Like I feel like we should do a lot of that.
I feel like the problem, though, my bro, is I'm going to quote a cue here. The music industry generally is not filled with a lot of music people.
That's
It's not
the back
Filled with a
end.
lot of music people,
Are you thinking about the back end now or like the art?
like practitioners in the space generally. They are there to work. That it's not just because you can make music or because you work in the music industry doesn't mean you're a music person.
This is your turn to pick your words carefully.
Yeah.
Watch and pray.
Oh my god.
Man, like
Do you agree?
You know this episode is watch and pray.
I just feel like, I mean, it's an industry. You understand? Like it's everybody floating their opinion, mixing it with ego and trying to make it law. You get, and it's whether they know music or they don't know music, or they're musical or they are not. Like I feel like at some point we have to, as a creative, take it as a personal responsibility to protect the art. I feel like it's a war between the art and the machine.
So you feel
You
like it's not for
understand?
everybody.
I don't think everything is for everybody. Do you understand? Like, I feel like to some people it's for them, and I choose to think it's for me. And I feel like it's a responsibility as well to like uphold the art, or try as much as possible to uphold the art through the noise, and like fight that battle. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because I choose to see it as a battle for the soul. It's like art is important. Like I feel like because it's all covered in trend or chart or fun and games, it's like we're in the Roman Empire and we're fighting as gladiators in the ring. Like we forget that we are making something for the soul, and we're making music and we're creating art. We are artists. Like that word has to mean something. It can't just be vibes and inshallah. And it's starting to look like that, but we just can't forget that more. Like look at how Fela saw music, man. Like Fela was popular and like Fela blew, but like he didn't lose the
Musicality.
true essence and the meaning of the word. Like look at Bob Marley. Like you would hear Bob Marley speak and you would know that this is an artist. Like he exalts the
It's a
art.
spiritual
Like
experience
we need to remember that it is a spiritual experience. We know if you just sugarcoat them in vibes and just the zazu. Oh, it's spiritual.
I think that
Do you understand?
something that you've mentioned twice, a word you've mentioned twice.
No
tonight.
disrespect to Zazu, please.
yeah.
Watch
Oh,
and
no, I
pray.
think he knows.
Watch and pray.
Oh, he does
Watch
it.
and pray. is ego,
Yeah.
right? It's ego, and a lot of times when I when I listen to stuff that great, like really great musicians have done, and you hear some of the stories behind them. For example, "Devil in a New Dress," Kanye West featuring Rick Ross. One of Rick Ross' best verses ever. So good. The song has a video. He now shot a music video for his verse. Rick Ross shot it because that's how good. But the story behind that song is that the story behind that verse is that Rick Ross sends the first verse, and Kanye tells him, "My dog,
enough, bro.
Nah. Like, nah, this is..."
And he told him that you are in the middle of possibly your greatest run.
Yeah.
At the
Well,
it was the middle of Teflon Don, God Forgives I Don't, and what's the first one?
I can't remember.
Deeper Than Rap.
Yeah, Deeper Than Rap.
Teflon Don, God Forgives I Don't.
And it was like, you're in a
Shouldn't
great...
be dropping this.
You should don't give me a week. Rick Ross flew. He took a flight. Flew out to go and meet Kanye West in the hospital.
So let's do this.
Hotel, rather.
Destroyed
Sat
the
down with
beats.
him and made a great verse. I also... There's a documentary on Amazon called The Sound of 007. It's a great... Everybody should... If you're a music person, you should go check it out. It's about the James Bond movies, but the music of James Bond. So the theme song, tan tan, tan tan, how they made it, and how all the theme songs that musicians sing for all the movies, how they happen. Some of the songs, some people, they interviewed the people that did songs for them. They interviewed people that did and they rejected. Big names.
And I had a lobby for that shit.
Yeah, big names, and they rejected it. And those people didn't even take EP. There's even one about how Bono, U2, they wrote a song, and they were like, and they heard the song they wrote, and Bono told the James Bond producers, they're like, the song we did is not bad,
But
But it's not great enough.
It's good, but it's not great enough. What you should do is give it to, mention a singer, I can't remember her name, it's a black woman. Let her do it in her way. Send the song to her. And she did it in her way, and
That must have been
like people
the
used
one
to.
they did in Cuba.
I can't even remember.
but it took a lot of. I think it's a Kanye doing that to Rick Ross is because it's a Kanye.
I agree.
Now this is a
I
how
agree.
many?
It's a dynamic.
It's
Yeah.
a dynamic. Do you understand how
Yeah.
many not as big artists or
Yeah.
not artists with not as much influence as Kanye can return a verse?
No,
And I'm
it's
going to
not.
ask
I don't.
Pheelz
I don't
that.
think it's just Kanye. I think it's also Rick Ross.
Thank you.
Okay.
Because
Thank you.
there are a lot of artists that you can say, if you like, be Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If you tell them their verse is not up to par,
They'll
if you
come
fight.
If he fights you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
There are some
Sam.
artists that
Like ego.
do you
Ego.
understand? Like, so like it works both ways. Like, and like for me, like if the verse is not versing, it's not versing.
Has it ever happened to you
Like,
before?
yeah. I
Send
mean,
you
like,
back.
like I've had sessions where I tell the rapper or the singer, like, yo, like write another verse. Like that's the job of the producer. I
And it's
think.
also
like,
a bit easier for you, I suppose, because you're
you're
also a
Pheelz.
good
No.
You're also a really good writer.
No, this
No,
was
no.
who I was before Pheelz. Like,
Oh.
like this is how I make
And they would
music.
listen to you?
If you choose to, and if you don't, then it's okay. But I would say my piece, like as like we're making music here. Like it's a collaborative effort.
And you have like the honest conversation and say this is not good enough.
Yeah.
Timberlake once was it Timberlake? Timbaland rather once said that music is like what they call it, opera, right? The conductor and the producer is the conductor,
And
not the
one person
artist
can't go off.
singing. The producer is
Must
the
agree with
conductor,
it.
and the producer has the ability to say, "Look, man, this thing where they do here, try this."
But do they listen?
Try
But the
that.
difference, no. But the difference is also, sorry, Melody. Difference is also that we have a lot of beat makers, not a lot of producers.
Oh,
And I feel like you have like judgments about artists, like being egotistic or arrogant, or like some of us are cool, you know.
I agree.
I agree,
Like,
100, definitely.
Like it's.
But it's not a lot of you.
not
I mean,
a
it's
lot
not
of
a lot of you.
Not
think-
a lot.
It's
of
not
think
a
you.
it's
lot
more
of
than-
you, bro.
That's so guys.
This is-
that's
I mean,
why
like,
that's
but
why I was
It's not a lot of you.
We're humans, though.
I
like,
agree.
and being human. Do you think that becoming the artist kind of brings out that ego? Like knowing that you're an artist, you're creating. I don't know.
I feel like to a degree everybody has ego. Like I feel like as an artist you are just more in the eye of everyone else. Like and like your subtleties are magnified in the eye of the media and the press. But like at the core of it, let's not forget that everybody is human, and we're all just trying to figure this out. But as popular people, we just get to figure it out in the eye of the world.
In the eye of the public.
Do you understand?
It's worse for you.
So like it's louder.
That's,
Do you
that's great
understand?
context.
So your imperfections and also
done in
magnified.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
magnified,
you
but
may-
they're under people are
Do you
you are
understand?
being
Like-
scrutinized, and sometimes even the things that will be like, wait,
That's actually
So we have
That's
to like
facts.
approach it with like compassion and
That's
love.
very
Like
Caution.
look,
That's
yes,
facts.
you want to drag. All of us want to have fun. Want to take our little piece of meat from the
the black pot.
meat on the table at this moment. But like we have to understand that we are all humans, and we have to actually give it a place for compassion, because all these yarns that we are yarning, words are strong. Like it's energy. Like someone can wake up one day and read one tweet, and that shit sends
Yeah.
him down the path of suicide. Like
yeah,
like it can send you
Down
down
a
a
very
spiral. Like
slippery
one
slope.
tweet can literally ruin your day.
especially if
Has
you
that happened
respect
to
the
you
person
before?
that's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like and like
Do you
for me
remember
it's
the
no. But for me it's just it's always a fight to now try and like see it for what it is and not let it like affect me.
Affect you.
But it will always be battle, because it's energy, and like let's just leave space for compassion, because we're all human
But
beings.
the thing about it, I think I hear what Pheelz is
It made a
saying.
valid point.
It made a very valid,
Very
point.
valid point.
But I also feel like when it comes to this conversation about people being imperfect, and
Some people
artists-
are assholes, feels. Let's put it like that.
I know.
artists are
Well,
human
No,
it's
let's not
going.
lie.
It's going.
As a matter of
Sorry,
fact,
please give me your drink.
it-
He says good.
a large part, I would say a large part are maybe not assholes. It's just
problematic.
here's what I say about artists. Artists are narcissists, with all due respect to you. But the problem is, artists need the narcissism. You can't be a
plays a role.
successful artist without being a narcissist. It's not possible.
Because you could be somebody that tries something crazy.
Such
And
a
everybody will
horrible
say,
drink.
and so everybody will say, this thing you're doing is crazy. For example, Jesus, Kanye West Jesus.
Yeah.
When I first heard that album, I was like, my nigga, why? Waiting be this.
Me too.
I play the album a lot now.
Me too.
I love it now.
I think
play
it
back
was
to
4
back
years a lot.
lot.
later that I was like, oh, you said rubbish.
Do you
But
understand?
that narcissism, don't you think it also affects? Wait, so there's two sides to this thing, right?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
The narcissism helps with the talent, but the narcissism can also be a reason for the loss of talent.
No,
and
here's
also
the-
not understanding. Wait now.
Okay, sorry.
And also not understanding when you are actually going down a slippery slope. Because a lot of
Facts. I
times
agree.
we have conversations where people try to tell someone that this thing you are doing, this path that you're on is not the right way. Like you're becoming so extreme. Like you're not going about this the right way. But be like, oh no, that's me. That's how I feel. And it's all built in that narcissism. So how do you draw the line between narcissism following your talents
Feels.
and following your downfall?
Ajuju. Question.
Watch and pray. Who determines what downfall is?
I think it's very obvious, bro. Let's be honest.
Huh?
We're not trying to do Zen.
I think
No, this is not Zen.
No, it's not even
I'm
Zen.
asking you a
it's
question.
not Zen.
Okay, so how
It's
do you
not Zen.
tell?
Who determines?
That's it's you. I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe
honest.
downfall is an extreme,
or
but
like down a slippery slope.
A reduction.
Who
in
determines that?
perception?
Perception. Abi.
Metrics.
Perception. No, maybe not
Perception, metrics, opinions, court of public opinion.
Maybe not opinions, but sometimes metrics.
Sometimes
metrics.
But at a level, like I feel like shout out to the artists out there that don't put opinions forward when they are creating art.
What do you mean?
Cause I don't think, and there are two sides to it too. But like
definitely.
on like in the simplest form possible, like I don't really think opinions should affect art. I think
No, wait.
like
Chill.
let me get to where I'm going to. I think the artist should create fine and good.
Okay.
I think the artist
Yes.
should listen to like
I
fellow
understand what
creative
you're
minds
saying.
or like minds that
Respected
they
minds.
respect
Yeah.
or minds that they they
Trust.
like trust
Yeah.
creatively or like whatever way, you understand. But on the aspect of dictating the
Direction.
not directional, but just dictating
the art.
maybe the blow of the art or the downfall of the art. Like, I don't think that should be a problem of the artist. I feel like the artist should, as much as possible, try to tune out of that when making the art.
I agree.
Do you understand?
I agree.
Like, that's what I think. Like, I'm not saying don't be inspired. I'm not saying don't listen to people. I'm not saying don't like have a circle of like
driven by.
But don't be driven by that. Still leave space for like expression of like art. You understand? Yeah.
Guys, we're about to go on a break. Make sure you catch the full episode on Monday on streaming platforms and on YouTube.
Watch and pray.
Solid points there. I can't lie.
I think I'm enjoying this episode.
Solid point there, but sometimes I feel like with me the problem is I feel like there are certain things as a creative sometimes that you do.
Not just artists.
I'm specifying on musicians. There are certain things you do. There are certain bubbles you stay in, and I'm like, you should know that you have stopped really creating. How can you not tell?
What do you mean by stop?
Because
bro, to them, they're still creating
bro. We last we're just antennas. Like, a creative is just an antenna into the creative force. So like ideas or like inspiration, for example, I feel like it exists already. Like, it doesn't that's what I say. It doesn't come from me. My antenna feel just sharp as another person to catch them or to like receive them, and maybe I now have the like zeal or the skillful know-how to create from that inspiration or from that idea. Like, that's up to me to create, to like improve my skills or like sharpen my sword to be able to but like we are all just antennas, bro. Like, I feel like we need to cut creative people a slack and understand that, bro, we're all just antennas trying to figure out all these crazy ideas that we get from the creative source and trying to like swim through this sea of opinions and sharks and and crocodiles, trying to just not allow us to do that. Do you understand? And putting it into categories or like rating it or putting it on charts. We are all just trying to tap into this creative source. So like, let's not, I try as much as possible to remember the foundation as much as possible, because we are building all this whole maze and we are forgetting the actual source that this piece from God, like, and we're all just trying to make a living, make a name, create an impact, with it. That's all we are all trying to do. Like, whether we have ego or we don't have ego, we are humans. Whether we are angry, we are assholes, we are human. Whether we are fighting, we are not fighting, we are tweeting, we are not tweeting. We are human.
I agree.
Let's cut ourselves some slack now. Is that too much to ask?
But I wish I could. I have the best example to give, but I can't give it.
Don't give it.
Because, watch and pray. But I feel like... And what I've even seen the most is that it comes sometimes with success.
That's what I said.
It comes with success. Like, there's sometimes people hit success and I can't call it get carried away. It's not get carried away.
It's just maybe enter your bag.
I don't know what it is. But some people know how to have success and still like draw out the antenna, stay sharp. Make I put them in your words.
Yeah.
Like they still hold the antenna. Maybe they hold them for roof or something, but they still draw it. They still draw up properly. And then some people just.
So again, like Melody, I think what Pheelz as well, what we're saying was the narcissism has positives and negatives.
Yeah,
it does.
It does. I feel like narcissism is why you are going to make music in Lekki. And you're going to think, this song can get to Billboard. It's grade A narcissism.
Because it's like,
you
what?
can't
the audacity.
make it on that level if you are not a narcissist. It's not possible. It's not possible. You need it. But at the same time, the narcissism can't then become you. It can help you. Someone said, I like to push you from behind, not stand in front of you.
Yeah. And dictate what you do.
Do you understand? I feel like it gets to a point where, except said something to me like 4 years ago, the biggest drug for a celebrity or for an artist is you stand in front of an ocean of people and they are singing
back your song. Yes, except I said that to me. Like, do you know what it does?
You can't. Your mind is going to be different because if someone is telling you that this thing I'm making is not going to. Were you there when I was making what people there were as we're screaming about?
It's like, who are you to tell me?
Who the fuck are you?
What do you know? You're not a bloody writer.
So, in my opinion, let me give an example. In my opinion, Davido's a good time. It's a really good album.
Yeah.
And it's better than a better time.
Yeah.
And I think A Better Time has done over 1 billion streams.
Yep.
I can't sit with Davido and tell Davido that a good time is better than A Better Time. Davido will tell me a better time has over 1 billion streams. How do I? What's my retort to that? I can't. I'll be like.
You'll be like, well, the numbers is when you talk about the art, the numbers.
So the metrics are also different. Some artists are artists that create. For example, if Pheelz, for example, I feel like Pheelz might understand the tenets of he's doing great numbers, but it's not great. I think you might understand that better.
Do you?
I don't understand the question.
Like a project, you made a project, it's done 1 billion streams, but it's not. But someone is telling you it's not good
enough.
It's not good enough, right? I feel like you might understand that than some other people.
So basically, like just using like
great numbers.
Numbers as a metric to measure.
Last is that person's opinion now. I know if he. But that's what you think.
But, okay.
Yeah.
You understand,
guys? Welcome back. Welcome back from the break. We are still here. Watch and pray.
I feel like narcissism again.
No, this thing you just described, I don't even want you to use it as a one-off because I think we are there. It's a thing generally now where and people can't. Again, I can't use the example. God help me.
Watch and pray.
Sometimes you can see an artist go a certain way and it's working for a while, but you know that it's for
coming
a while.
to an edge.
This thing is not sustainable and it will end. And sometimes I worry and I'm like, this thing can't last. I clearly can see that this thing can't last. Maybe the artist is conscious enough to know that it can't last.
And
it's working out. It's working out. Let me do what I gotta do for now.
Exploit it.
Let me cash out or
my
whatever.
money.
If that's the case, I'm happy for the artist because man, creating is hard. And if you're winning,
hard. And it's
God
a
has
very
blessed
painful
you.
process.
If you're winning from art, God has blessed you. If you are not conscious of that, then I'm worried for you because if you don't know, if there's nobody around you to tell you that, listen, we need to get ready to switch it up. We need to get ready to put our antenna back outside
not ready
again.
to listen.
Do you understand? Then it worries me because there are certain people that it has happened and I used to argue with certain people. Ifeanyi will tell you. There are certain artists I will tell Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi loves us. Ifeanyi, you know this person personally. Talk to him. This thing,
it's going to expire.
It has the expiry date. Yeah, and you should. And again, like we've seen, how much has Afrobeats metamorphosed in the last few years?
With the sound.
The sound, yeah.
It's expanded.
It has expanded.
But the background format is still very diverse, but I'm not sure there is a lot of.
There were people
there's been a lot of experimentation.
There were people that died
on
that Ghana pom pom sound.
Oh,
like they literally died there, and things started changing.
And they couldn't
but they kept on, and they didn't. And new things were coming out, right? New people were coming out, doing different things, and I'm like, do you pay attention? The vibration is changing. Do you pay attention?
But Pheelz also mentioned something. What you're saying now just ties to that conversation where Pheelz said that I was also trying to ask, like, how do you find a balance? Like you talked about some artists being stuck in the Ghana pom pom sound. And Pheelz, as an example. And Pheelz mentioned earlier that as an artist, it's important for you that for him sometimes is very intentional about not taking in, not budging about
during the creative process.
Yeah, during his creative process, not budging about what is trending or what is in vogue when it comes to the sound. Just being in his own creative space and creating like based on how he feels.
Yeah.
How do you now, if you choose to do that, how do you know when you're not being stuck in a particular sound and the world has moved?
Watch and pray.
I would like to add something to that before you answer.
Okay.
At the end of the day, too, there's also nuance there. You can do a sound that has been done for 10 years straight. If you can bring it out in a way that is great,
Different.
people will never run away from great
yeah.
music.
That's one of the things I was going to say actually. Like, do sounds really come and go?
Yes.
Yes.
They have peak moments.
Or down moments.
Or
they
or it's just a metric for like acceptability and attention.
I feel like if you're making commercial music, acceptability and attention doesn't sound very
Okay, so we're talking about commercial music
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Okay.
commercial success, yeah.
Okay, so
Not
Afro.
the beauty of it,
No, okay.
or the musicality.
Okay, so now ask your question again.
No, she's the best way to ask the
Okay, ask
question.
your question again. I just wanted to know like
So
what
I'm saying
aspects we're
that
talking about.
how so for artists you mentioned how the intentionality behind during the creative process, just staying in your own center, like centering yourself and creating sound and creating music based off of how you feel and trying to block out
What
like
you think is good.
what is good and trying to block out what is trending or what is popular or what people are consuming and just doing based on how you feel in that moment as an artist. Like that's like you talk about
Like,
that.
how do you find the balance?
How do you find a
That's
balance and not being stuck?
I'm not being stuck in the sound.
Yes,
in a loop.
in a loop,
Or
and
in a
when
loop.
the world has moved on from a particular
Or a
sound.
continuum.
Man, like, yes, there are times when you have to like zone out and like create, but like when you are back in when you are like consuming, because I call it consumption, when you are
Yeah.
consuming music, be open to learn as well. Like, I feel like one of the things that have in a way kept me fresh is learning, and I haven't stopped learning till today. Like, and it's not just learning from what's popular. Do you understand? Like, just learning, like, because there are songs out there that has inspired me, but like might not be popular. But I just get inspired by songs like that. Like, I hunt for music and like listen to like sounds that people wouldn't really want to listen to because it's not on the charts or it's not, commercial, you get. But like, I feel like how not to get stuck is just constantly learning. But then also understand that as a creative, you need time alone to create. Like, you can't just be consuming, you get. At some point, you have to fast, you get, and just create now with all the inspiration that you've gotten mixed with your own steez, you get. Yeah, that's what I said.
So another question I'm going to ask is, it must be very hard being an artist. Which one is harder, being an artist or being a producer?
Man, it's more tasking to be an artist, yeah.
Because you're more public facing.
Yeah, more
Yeah,
public face.
it's more
More
tasking.
public
But then, like, the rewards are sweet, yeah. So it's good.
I remember when I saw you, I watched you perform at
BT.
perform Finesse at BT.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy. This is
Bro.
actually
I
crazy.
saw him on Breakfast Club. I was like, whoa.
This is
Yeah,
crazy.
crazy.
You know, like also goes to show, but I'm so happy because it also goes to show people, you, Young Jonn, two of you are testimonies as to the infinite possibilities that are out there for people.
If you've mastered it.
If you, of course, now do we need to? If we are saying that, if we need to say that,
No, we do.
I don't think
Many people going to believe in Chinese whispers.
No, I don't think. I think if you
You understand?
yes,
If you
but
mastered it,
but
it's
does
very
it honestly
important.
come in mastery though?
It does come in mastery.
if especially if longevity is your goal,
Because it was
do
an
you know
artist
do
first.
you know how long? Do you know how long this guy has been making music?
Pheelz, do you think it comes in mastery?
I don't even think mastery is possible, man.
No, when we say mastery,
Honestly.
it's not. It's more like you have never been an artist. So because you've seen Pheelz, you have been a successful producer. You've seen Pheelz and Young Jonn become artists, and you just wake up one day. Say, if I can mix also too, and become
Isn't that the
artist.
narcissism that people say they need?
You understand? No, that's not narcissism. That's not narcissism.
Hey!
No.
Oi!
Wait. That's not.
Hey.
Wait, that's not narcissism. That's delusion.
Points made.
It's not
Delulu. But points.
This one is delulu.
it's a lie. Because it's the same thing as you making song in Lekki and thinking they'll be dancing to
No,
it in
no,
Palestine.
but you have never made music before. It's different. You understand?
Well, yeah, I
No,
get
it's
you.
delulu.
But they are cut from a different cloth.
You
They are
understand?
cut from a
No.
different cloth because
They were artists first.
in his era, in where Pheelz, Young Jonn, where they came from, there wasn't this much low barrier entry to music.
Yep.
He literally was
Yep.
saving money for
Yep.
Gen. He delete after I produce, he go delete them.
delete it,
You understand? Now niggas can produce on the software is everywhere. Like it's easier now.
Yeah.
It's easier
To
now.
music, yeah. And you can in your room, you can produce. You can find a beat online, pay for it, record yourself,
And
mix it, master, upload.
in Nigeria, for example, the creative industry became cool
Yeah,
for
it did.
everybody.
It did.
Like
And everybody not thinks-
parents are more. I have met. I'm not exaggerating. I have met parents that I've spoken with people's parents that say, "Hey,
Afrobeats is
which
winning.
producer do you think my son should work with?" Imagine how many years ago that would not happen.
Yeah, that's
They would
happened
slap
now.
you to react. They'll be like doctor, lawyer. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And people now think we are not working, and then they get inside and they see that we're actually working,
Oh, dear.
and then they run back out.
Please, I want to ask you. I want to ask you a question that is away from the music, right? There was a tweet that someone put out, and he said that I'm still going to connect it to you being an artist, but he said, "I fumbled a good woman in this
Chai.
economy because I refuse to take time to heal.
That was so sad,
What a
though.
fucking life." Have you ever fumbled a good woman? Have you ever felt like you fumbled a good woman?
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Damn, bro. Like we were just talking about music.
Bro.
I swear, that's just full 360.
Damn.
Um,
Damn, bro.
but yeah, I think I would say so though. Can't lie, because there's a song I wrote and I said, "You ruined me for everybody," and
Wow.
it's just. And there's another song on the EP called PTSD on the next EP. Because I feel like I don't know if I want to even go personal like this, low-key, but it's just sometimes you go through things and you just shut yourself from the world and like you just go numb sometimes. And like it's like I'm on the journey to opening back up. But then like on that journey, like I will meet people and just tell them I'm still opening back up. You get me? Like I guess for me personally, that's what it is right now. So like right now I'm just
So you fumbled a good woman?
yeah, I have actually.
Melody, have you fumbled,
That's how
have you fumbled
that's
a
what-
good man before?
No.
You've
Don't
never
do it,
fumbled a good man.
Nah.
But Melody, the point to actually take from that tweet.
Nah.
Do you know what that point? The point to take from that tweet?
Yeah.
Accountability.
Men and accountability.
No, because that happens more with
How?
men.
No,
Men
no.
are the ones who do that a lot
That's
more.
not true.
I don't
That's-
So
understand.
you've not fumbled a good man before.
That's not true.
How many men have you dated?
That's not true.
Wait, feels
That's
wait.
actually not
I
true.
feel like that fumbling of a good person or fumbling in a relationship or misbehaving a lot comes with men more, and that introspection comes with men more. Because a lot of
No.
times, that's what I
Melody.
think.
Men just have bad PR. Men have bad PR.
accountability,
We
especially
spoke
black
about it,
women.
But men just have bad PR.
Did you see that video of the Thorps on Instagram?
Of who?
Wait, you know the Thorps? You know that babe that was making an impersonation of Top Boy of Kenya?
Oh yeah.
And they have an Instagram account.
couple.
Yeah, the couple. And
Anyways.
the husband was making a joke. Right? So I said, babe, come and say these words.
Yeah.
So she was saying like a couple words. She said, pseudo a preparatory.
Say accountability. Say accountability. She know go fit talk am. Or have you seen this Tyrese and his ex-wife?
Bro!
No, did you see that P?
Phil, have you been following that?
So
You know what,
Tyrese
Tyrese's
and his
ex-wife.
ex-wife. It's wild.
yeah, I saw something about that.
Tyrese's
recently.
Did you watch
ex-wife.
it?
No, I didn't watch
Okay.
it.
Tyrese's
Wild.
ex-wife,
I saw it.
Samantha Lee.
I saw it.
She's been on a sort of media run. And
She was on a podcast.
and on one particular podcast, or I don't even know if it's her own. No,
It's not
her own.
hers. Yeah.
She was talking about how she fumbled a good man, more or less.
Yeah. No.
Yes, now.
No.
Yes.
In the video, she said,
She said that at the
Go
time
ahead.
when
"No, let her land.
at the time when she asked for a divorce,
Yes,
the reason she did that because she feels like in retrospect she didn't have the right people in her ears.
So what does that mean?
Telling her what to do.
Yeah.
That she was so upset.
Yeah.
She was so upset and she was so angry by what the situation was with both of them at the time that, you know, if she had someone to speak to her calmly about it or maybe like talk to her, so she had someone to tell her the good qualities of the person that she was with, she wouldn't have asked for a divorce.
Have you noticed that in
that he didn't do something?
No, hold on.
She just said that
Tyrese
she was
has
angry
gone on a
about
media
something.
round. Melody, hear me, oh. Tyrese has gone on all his media rounds saying I did nothing, and she has never countered it.
Actually, he
so
said
he did nothing.
So he's no. He said he didn't.
She has
cheat.
never. Which woman do
No.
you know? Which
He
woman
said
do
he
you
did-
know?
That's the thing.
Melody, hear this question well.
She's looking at me now.
Melody, hear this
I'm
question I'm
just-
asking you
I'm
well.
just
Watch and
watching-
pray,
I'm
Which
just
woman, Melody,
looking
which
at
woman do you
guys.
know that a man will lie and say I didn't do anything to this woman and she will take it quietly?
No. I'm not saying that. No. Listen.
He did not do anything.
He listed things. He said he didn't cheat. He said he wasn't abusive. He
Yes.
didn't hit her. He was not blah blah blah. But all of those things don't mean that there are other things that you're doing that is not
Like
wrong.
what?
What if you
When
no?
watching the place.
When people say that, wait, when men say that,
You're not
when
wrong.
people say they're not abusive,
No.
oh,
Tolani,
I didn't beat you, I didn't hit you.
don't
What if
fall
you
for
are
it.
emotionally
Tolani, don't fall for it.
abusive? What
She's
if you are
not
mentally
wrong.
abusive?
Guys,
No.
she's
I don't
wrong.
understand. I'm not wrong, bro.
Motolani.
I'm not
Except-
wrong.
No, Motolani, walk with me.
No, I'm not walking
She's
with
not
you.
wrong.
Wait,
But
wait.
what happened now is that she found one tiny shred of evidence, like the tiniest this thing.
You can be mentally abusive. People don't
Excel.
He
understand
was
that they're
not.
emotionally
I
abusive.
said, Melody, which woman do you know that a man
Excel.
will say,
Guys.
a man will say, I did nothing wrong. And you know the worst part is, now here's the worst part. This woman now started saying, I'm open to reconciliation.
Guys.
Did you say that?
Yes,
Guys,
where have you
wait.
been?
Wait.
She said
Wait.
he went live now. You didn't see he
I
went
saw that.
live.
Like, Tolani
He went
wants
live
to
and he
speak.
broke it down again. Motherline, wait. He went live and he broke it down again that he's not interested and he now gave other insights.
Guys, wait.
Apparently, she signed one of the greatest prenups
prenup.
ever.
Yeah.
Nothing day. Nothing.
he's paying her 20,000
But he's
per
paying her
month.
20,000 per month.
Willingly. Willingly. He's not obliged to. Willingly. He said it on the live. He's paying her money willingly since she left him. And of course, they have a very young child. He's a
Yeah.
sensible human being.
There is a larger issue here.
Then her lawyers for the past 3 years have been trying to find loopholes in that
Loopholes,
prenup,
yeah.
and it's not working. So he's saying that you're only going on these media rounds talking about people were in my ear. Oh, we can reconcile. The one that
Because
even
you
got
can't
him
collect
offended was on one of our this thing, she said, if two of us are willing to work, he said, I didn't do anything wrong. Don't come and make it like, I fuck up in some way, so I too should be willing to work. No, I didn't do anything wrong. Your lawyers have tried for 3 years to crack the prenup. They can't. And now I feel like you need money, and now you're coming and you're saying we should reconcile.
Listen.
I'm not interested.
Listen, first things first. May God not allow us to marry the wrong people. That's a big prayer.
And the wrong man.
Wrong people. I
For
said
you,
wrong
yes.
people.
Okay, cool.
If you like,
Amen.
turn it to man. It's fine. A bad woman with justice. Let's move on. Don't touch me, please.
Sorry, they can't hear you apart from your mic.
is
Sorry, I'm literally.
No, you're not turning the right way. Like you're
you
turning
know when
it
you talk
away.
sometimes you turn
Hello,
it from
can
the
you
mic.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're just
Okay.
turning from the mic sometimes.
So I feel like the problem is, may God not allow us to marry the wrong woman. Number two, what I'm about to say is going to be very controversial. A lot of women need to understand that people that they call friends don't have the best. They don't have the best interest of their relationships in mind.
That's a very blanket statement. Don't you
But
think
it's,
so?
It's a fact. As a lot of their
Facts
friends,
from where?
a lot of their friends don't have the interest of the relationship at
Why?
heart. They only have the interest of their friend, and that's if they only
Oh.
have the interest of the friend.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Good
you
perspective.
understand?
Good angle.
yeah,
now
good
you,
angle.
Now you
Do you
explain,
understand?
yeah.
that sentence, I
They
get
don't.
it.
They feel like they want to protect their friend.
Yes.
But number one, they are
I
not
agree.
seeing the shortcomings of their friend. They're just seeing what this other person's reaction to their friend is,
Or what their friend has said about the
or
situation.
what their friend has said about the situation. They are not in there. And with all due respect, I feel like women are more emotionally intelligent than men. I don't think I'm wrong to say that. But I also think the emotions that back the emotional intelligence also overshadow their thought process sometimes, especially when it comes to defending and protecting. And when that shit happens, a woman that doesn't have a discerning spirit, do you understand? Like, I feel like women need to have friends for certain things.
Compartmentalize the friendship.
Do you understand?
This one is for
Compartmentalize the
this,
friendships.
This one is for this.
Your friends can't be. There are certain friends that can't be for everything.
I agree.
Do you understand? They can't be for everything. They
I
just
agree.
can't.
I agree.
Like a smart woman, if you have a babe,
I think it's not a general thing. People should
I don't think a lot
compartmentalize
of-
their friendships.
I agree, but I think a lot of people don't understand this.
Yeah.
Right. So, a friend that doesn't have the emotional intelligence to see angles and patterns or nuance will just give you blanket advice, especially when you keep on talking about your partner, the things that your partner is not doing. They might not be able to tell you that this thing is not as big.
They don't even see the good.
They
How
don't
would
even
they
see
see
the
it?
good
Have you
part
said
of
it
the
by
partner.
yourself?
Remember that
Especially
woman
especially the ones that are single.
Remember that woman that her husband bought the wrong tissue or bought the wrong distance? She came and jokingly shared the story on Twitter.
They
And,
knocked the guy.
and no, they were telling her,
Weaponized.
they were told her to divorce her husband.
But you know that's a thing, right?
They were telling her to divorce
No,
her
but that's
husband.
a thing. where
Weaponized incompetence.
Yes, where you intentionally act like you don't know something.
No, it's
for
not
the other person
intentional.
to
It's
do
not
it.
intentional.
I don't think
Let me ex-
I don't think the intentionality is the part where you're
It's
acting like you don't know. No, it's the part where
you're
you are
not
not
doing it to
intentional
men.
enough to know the right thing.
You don't pay attention.
Like it's like you're just trying
So
to
yeah,
use your
I'm
brain
glad.
intentionally.
Thank you. I'm glad that we're finally explaining that thing, because a lot of times when I see people say that thing, I'm like, this is not what you think it is.
that's not what it is.
First of all, a man's ego is big enough to say, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Not I will pretend like I don't know. A man's ego
That's
is
it.
big
I'm
enough to
not
say,
fucking doing that
I'm not,
shit.
I'm not doing this shit. You want me to go and buy what? I'm not doing it. Go and do it. You're the wife of the... Like, we know men are crazy like that. So that thing is really that there are certain things that happen in the household
That you don't pay attention.
that are men
enough.
in their brain, and some of it
It's not
is-
intentional.
It's not intentional, but they've
zoned out.
They've zoned themselves to a certain point that there are certain things they don't know, and it's crazy, and that's something men need to work on. Like you ask some men, "What's your child's birthday?" They
don't
don't
know.
know. That's fucking crazy.
But is that not? Is that not intent?
So I don't listen.
That's intentional.
No.
That's intentional.
The best day parts are extreme shit.
There's no effort.
Like the milk that you drink in the house.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like all those things are not. You are not trying to hurt anybody. Let's believe it or not.
in
Let's
your
not
head,
lie.
it's not in scale of
Do you
preference.
understand?
It's not.
Let's not lie to
as in-
ourselves. The reality of life is, as much as a lot of wokeist and liberal women, I don't want to say feminists, try to shit on gender roles. There is no way you can have a happy home without
I
gender
sent you.
roles.
I sent you a video.
Yeah,
Did you
he
watch
sent
it?
it to me.
How sexual.
Yeah,
this thing
he
is.
sent it to me.
What do you think about gender roles, Pheelz?
I think the nuances of relationships are too complex to categorize. And I think all in all, I believe in agreements and conversations. Like, I believe two people involved in a relationship should have a conversation about how to run the dynamics of the relationship and find a common ground to what pleases both parties. I believe in equality, but not in the sense of this or that, male or female, do's or don'ts. I believe in equality in the sense of agreement between both parties to what pleases both parties, finding the middle ground. That's the equality that I believe in. All these sectors, all these boxes, all these categories, all this, I'm not against it, but I think ultimately, like, the two most important people in this conversation are the two people in the relationship. Like, and like whatever like they do, it's between them. Like it's an agreement. Like, yes, we can pick in, we can have opinions, we
Which
can
might
have
not work for other
conversations.
Yeah.
Might be wrong, might be right. That's not on us. Like, that's not on us to impose or like,
As long as it works for them.
yeah, like it's just, that's what I believe. Like, that's what I think about gender roles. I believe it's a decision between the both genders to decide what roles they're going to be playing in that particular. I don't think there's a blanket
Statement.
rule of be commandments for the whole situation. Yeah.
Pheelz, where do you rank ID Cabasa in the list of greatest Nigerian producers of all time?
And do you think he's
Man,
do you think
he's
people
one-
give him
he-
as
he's
much
one of the
credit as he
best,
should be
man. He's
given-
one of the
should be
top.
given?
ID is one of the greatest legends in the history of Afrobeat music.
No, what was the question you asked? I didn't hear you.
I said
The
just
greatest Nigerian
producer,
Where do you
so-
rank? Where do you put ID Cabasa in the list of greatest
no,
Nigerian
no. And
producers?
then I now said that. Do you think that when we're talking about the greatest producers out of Nigeria, do you think ID Cabasa gets enough credit as a producer in that greatest ever
I
conversation?
mean,
I think so.
yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Melody, I think you need to. You
I
need
don't
to
think-
stop,
I
you
genuinely
need to stop
think
taking
that
the opinion of people that don't know music into conversations about music. I'm
So what
sorry.
were you going to say?
no, I think that he deserves more credit than he gets. Like
I
in
think
the
he gets a
conversation.
lot of credit.
I would like to state something.
Yeah.
I kind of had a feeling you were going there, so I'd like to
Yeah.
state something. Everybody has the responsibility of telling their story. People can say, yes, you are great, and people can also argue your greatness. But if you never did anything, and does not apply to ID Cabasa, this applies across board to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. We're in 2023 and a David Beckham documentary is coming out. Why? It matters.
But
Storytelling.
there's also a bag, which is the reason why that was. That was
No, but Tolani, two things, right? They relate. How the hell
There's
is
always,
David
there's
Beckham?
always been a bag.
There's
That's
always
David
been a
Beckham. Come on,
bag.
dog. Come on,
There's
dog.
always been a bag.
That's David Beckham.
You can always get a
And
bag.
it was even too short, in my opinion.
5 episodes.
That documentary was
4
too short.
episodes.
How do you bring David Beckham's life and
I thought
career
they
into
edited
5
the life
episodes?
out.
Into 4 episodes. It was even too short to me. Do you understand? So there are certain people that if it's not even the same. If you walk, if you're,
And it doesn't even have to be a documentary.
It doesn't have to
Just
be.
your-
Like one culture that I feel like we need to cancel more in this in our spaces. People need to talk more.
So people need to talk about themselves more,
Yeah.
like their own work more.
Listen,
Get
I'm
out
not
and talk
interested
more.
in anybody coming to complain on Twitter or wherever and say you
You're not
don't
giving your
give my
flowers.
respect. If you yourself, you're not giving your if you yourself made no effort, there is a responsibility on the media. I agree.
I agree.
to share
There is
those
a
stories.
100% responsibility on the media to investigate and even share these stories.
I agree.
They have that by default.
Yeah.
But you yourself, in that field, your accomplishments, you gotta allow it, bro. You gotta tell us stories. And what I want Nigerian creatives to get comfortable with, it will take some time, is being vulnerable in telling the stories.
I agree.
Be human. Tell us the good. Tell us the great. Tell us the bad. It doesn't remove anything from your legacy.
Yeah.
It
It doesn't remove
doesn't.
anything from your stardom. It
It
doesn't
doesn't.
demystify you.
It doesn't.
It doesn't demystify you like
It
the.
doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
People it doesn't.
But a lot of people are also
I just feel like in the conversation of the greatest producers in Nigeria, people should have more conversations about ID Cabasa.
I think people have conversations about it.
People talk about ID Cabasa.
I think the people
More.
that will not talk about the Cabasa are just people that don't know enough about the music.
Yeah.
And if they don't know
From-
enough,
yeah.
and if they don't
Yeah.
know enough, why is that?
I'm not even sure, but because look, I think
Nah, some people choose to educate themselves about
Yeah,
whatever
exactly.
they educate themselves with. The David Beckham documentary, for example, some people might never see it,
yeah.
and that's
And
their
he-
choice. Do you
but he
understand?
still made
Like,
the effort to share his
but
story.
yeah, so like it's give or take.
I agree,
like,
I agree,
you
I
get-
agree with you, Excel, but I also agree
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, he has a
think
point.
it's
Some people will
it's
never.
yeah.
Some people will never do their due diligence.
Like one thing that I think our generation, I'm bringing to generational shit, but I feel like our generation, just because everything wasn't handed to us, I don't mean that in a condescending way. Like we had to go outside and get music. We had to wake up in the morning and go buy CD. You know, I had to wake up. I would travel. I grew up in Akure. I would take bike to my junction to the junction, and I'll take cab to Ojalba to go and buy CDs. I remember the first day, the second time I bought Rugged Man's second
You
album.
could get
You
Dixman
understand?
or
Like
Walkman.
I
Or
bought that album
Baddo.
3 times.
I was somewhere talking about Palito and somebody
They
didn't know
didn't
what
get
a
it.
Palito
Like
was.
I bought the album 3 times. But I don't blame this generation because everything, like the internet is for them. They can just go to Wikipedia anytime they want.
You know this that different musicians
Like
will release
the
music in one night,
in one
and
day,
in that
it's
one
coming
night
to
you
them.
can hear
It's
everything.
coming to them.
It's
They're
such
not
a
going out to buy
blessing,
it.
bro. It's such a blessing.
You understand? And even on radio, when they are trying to play it, when new music comes out on TV and radio,
Yeah.
if before MTV base started taking off, they'll play you half.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
They'll play you half, so that you go and buy it. Like these things are real, but these guys don't get that, and I believe that's why a lot of them feel like whatever is not coming to them is not important. It's an unconscious thing.
Yeah. Pheelz.
But before we go, Pheelz, I want
Okay,
to tell
we have
you
one more
from the bottom
question.
of my heart. No, it's not a question.
You want to tell him something?
Stand by you.
Yeah. It's one of the songs he
Yeah.
loves.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
I feel like that EP you released was so good, and I feel like I don't know if it was a marketing problem but the reach I expected it to have, I feel like it didn't have it, and it hurt me so much because we used to call each other a lot and be like, "This is good stuff, but what's going on?" You know, and it really bothered me.
Stand
for a
by
while.
you is
And also, you were coming
such a
off
powerful
two strong
song.
singles.
Two strong singles.
Man, I just think the journey is the journey, man.
Come on,
The
this
process is
2
the
hours is not
process.
enough. We still have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, but
Boy.
that's our time for today, folks.
Well, I'm hungry. Man.
On some Bugs Bunny shit. That's all, folks.
Oh my.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end. Pheelz, thank you so much for hanging
Thanks
with
for
us.
coming, my bro.
Thank you for
Appreciate
coming.
it, man.
I'll be like alcohol.
This was really good.
Yeah.
Watch and Pray full episode out on Monday. Catch it on all streaming platforms. Catch the video on YouTube. Till next week, this is the Zero Conditions Podcast. Boom. Yeah.